Hello and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where I think many of you knew it would not be long before I attempted this puzzle, which is called Quality Street, and it's by one of my very, very favourite setters in the whole world of Sudoku. And it's by Jay Dyer. And Jay hasn't produced a puzzle for a while, so this is an absolute, well, what a way to start 2026. And Jay actually joined us last night on our Blueprint stream as well. She was in the chat, did a super chat. So Jay, thank you for doing that. Delighted to hear you're back in full-time work. Yeah, this puzzle is meant to be absolutely brilliant. Let me I've got some comments here. Hopefully you can see those on my screen. Let me just, yeah, I think that's visible, isn't it? So Fool on Hill, who's a brilliant judge of a puzzle, says it's beautiful. James Sinclair, who's also a brilliant constructor, says it's beautiful. Codex says it's yum tasty. Snooker Fan says gorgeous. This is an interesting comment. Gallium says 1-star difficulty for them, but somebody said, the top comment here, My Fear MJ, says nice but nearer 4 stars. So I don't know whether this is, it's 3 stars on Logic Masters Germany, but there seems to be a difference of opinion about how hard it is. But it does look like one of those coconut. It is coconut, isn't it? The sort of that shape of Quality Street. Quality Street, I only eat them at Christmas time. All right, I do eat a lot of them at Christmas time, but I'm pretty sure that the blue one is coconut. It used to be coconut anyway. Anyway, we'll get to the puzzle. I'll read you the rules, which won't take long. Simple rules today in a moment or two's time. A few things to mention. Well, I've already sort of hinted at it. Last night we did revisit the Blueprints mansion for no less than the 27th time. Day 45 we reached. Incredible. Sudoku secret. And well, we had another blast. It was a very long stream. It lasted till about 1 a.m. so I got very little sleep last night. But it was fun. And there are still some mysteries that we clearly... Somebody very meanly said at the end of the stream that we've now got 20%. Was it 20% of the way through the game or something? And then there were more comments afterwards suggesting we're 65-70% of the way through. So there's still a lot more to find, evidently. But if you want to rewatch or watch the VOD, I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen. What else? Let's talk about Patreon, where we've got this brilliant Sudoku competition running at the moment by Panthera and the Paint by Numbers Institute. This was the count as of yesterday. So we're up to 668 solvers of all of the puzzles, all 13. It's gone up again by loads. 725 now. It's phenomenal. It really is. Well done. Well done to all of you for managing to solve all 13 of the puzzles. There's still a week left of the competition, so if you want to win the chance to come onto the channel and solve a puzzle, do get involved. As I say, 13 puzzles, and none of them are particularly difficult, so I think that you'll all be able to manage them. It's over on Patreon right now. Now, I've still got to catch up on a few birthdays, and I've got birthdays for today as well, following my my intended trip down to Rye at the weekend, which never happened. But let me say a very happy birthday to Jim. This is for Sunday, Jim. I know I'm late with this one. I'm so sorry. Your girlfriend, Kristen, wrote to me. I think you're over there in Iowa. And Kristen told me that you secretly compete with the videos to see whether you can solve them better or more quickly. I fully approve of that. Jim, I hope you had a great birthday. I hope the chocolate cake was legendary. Next, Jordan. Jordan, your friend Jacob wrote to me. And I have to say, this Jacob must be one of the most organised people in the world, because Jacob wrote to me 7 months ago. That is phenomenal, to make sure that there was no danger of me missing your shout out. So I think your birthday is today. I don't think I've messed it up. Jordan, many happy returns. I hope the chocolate cake is good. Thank you for getting involved in this rather cool hobby. No, it is cool. No one can gainsay that, surely. Next, I'm late with this one. This was a Saturday birthday for Lauren, who turns, I think you turned 29. You're entering your 30th year. I know this because your boyfriend Ross wrote to me and told me that the two of you actually watch, I think, you wind down of an evening with an episode of Cracking the Cryptic and only shout at me occasionally. Thank you for that. Rachel, it wasn't your birthday, at least I don't think it was, but you did send us an absolutely lovely message. So thank you for doing that and taking the time. I'm so pleased to hear you are on the mend, and messages like that mean a lot. So thank you very much for sending it. And then is it Rajav? Rajav. I think it's Rajav. I remember you from previous years, Rajav. I think it's your co-worker, Ratna Kumar, wrote in from India. And he thinks you're the coolest boss in the world, doesn't he? I remember from previous years. I think I've done this shout out before. But it was your birthday last Friday. Although I couldn't get on board at all with the cake. It was some sort of almond cake. No. That's not right. But Ratna Kumar also asked for the background on how Mark and I met. Well, actually, I sort of stalked Mark, if I remember rightly. So Mark, I think he'd already won the Times Crossword Championship maybe once or twice by that point. And the Times Crossword Championship was coming up, and I knew we would both be attending. So I sort of just made sure that I got the opportunity to chat to him. And it emerged very quickly. We were two quite similar creatures. We were born in the same hospital, indeed, or hatched, as somebody once said, which was very unfair. We both worked in the City of London, and it's gone from there. I think I've talked about that. We've certainly done a podcast or two in the past where we've talked about that. Anyway, yeah, that was over 25 years ago, I'm pretty sure. It was around 2000. It's incredible, isn't it? Anyway, let's turn our attention now. That's all the news. To Quality Street by Jay Dyer. I will move my squeaky keyboard into position, and let's read the rules together and see what we have to do. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Digits may not repeat on the marked diagonal. Okay, that must mean both marked diagonals, I think. So that means those cells have to all be different. And similarly, these cells on the positive diagonal all have to be different. Sometimes the sort of this one here is called the negative diagonal, because if you differentiated it, it would have a negative gradient. This one is the positive diagonal. It has a positive gradient. Now, there's only one more rule. Region borders divide region sum lines, so these blue lines are region sum lines, into segments with the same sum. Different lines may have different sums. So what that means is for any one of these lines, you sort of look at the 3x3 box borders and divide the line into segments. So like that. And what we're being told is that these 3 digits sum to the same as this purple digit, sum to the same as the 2 green cells. But on this line, those 3, let's do this line as well, those 3, that one, and those 3, so each of these colours has the same total. That does not have to, in fact, we could see, it does not have to be the same total as the purple line, or the one that's got the purple, the green and the orange on it. So different lines can have different sums, and we can see because those cells are actually in box 5 already, and they obviously can't be the same because of Sudoku that we could have worked that out. And they are all the rules. Is it 1 star? Is it 4 stars? Or is it somewhere in between? Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Let's see if we can unwrap our Quality Street. I do quite like Coconut Quality Street. My favourite ones are the orange ones and the strawberry ones. But I basically will eat all of them if given the opportunity. Well, okay, let's start with this one then. So typically a good strategy with region sum lines is to find lines where there's a big discrepancy in the lengths of the segment. And here you can see we've got a segment here which is 1 cell versus a segment there which is 3 cells, where all of these digits have to be different. So even if we minimized these green cells with 1, 2 and 3, 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. So this yellow cell, or this cell here, has to be at least a 6. And the same is true for this one. This is the sum of those 3 and those 3 coincidentally, so that is also at least a 6. Right, and also the two sort of ends of the quality street are also at least 6. So that's rather pretty actually. Tummy rumbling. Yeah, this digit has to, actually I'm going to colour these, just let me colour these for a moment. So this one, whatever this one is different from whatever this one is, because they're in the same box of the Sudoku. But look at this is very pretty. So this digit here, let's just make that yellow for a moment. That is the sum of these 3 digits. Again, if we minimise them all, they would add up to at least 6. So yellow, which is the same as this one, is at least 6. But look at what yellow is seeing there. Yellow is seeing green in its row and purple in its column, so it must be a new colour. It can't be green, it can't be purple. And I think that's going to be symmetrically the same for those two, isn't it? These two, again, we're summing those 3 digits. Now, could this be yellow, though? Let's be careful here, because we could get ourselves into a pickle. Yeah, we've got to be careful. Orange could be the same as yellow because these don't see each other. No, it's fine. It's fine, we can go further. I hadn't seen this before, but I have now. I was wondering if I could prove that orange was different from yellow, and you can, but you have to use the diagonal, I think, to do it. So let's look at box 1. Where's yellow in box 1? Now actually it's only got one possible position, because you can't put yellow on its own region sum line. Imagine this cell was yellow and yellow was 6. Then that would say both of those cells would have to sum to 0 to make the maths work. So yellow can't go on its own region sum line, it can't go in its own row, it can't go in its own column. So that is yellow. And now yellow has made an appearance, look, a debut on the negative diagonal. But where's orange? It's the same logic in this box. Orange is going to have to go there for exactly the same reasons. And now it is legitimate to say orange is different from yellow because they both see, or they're both on, the negative diagonal. And we've got to find... well, I was going to say we have to find homes for purple and green on the negative diagonal, given that they can't be in box 5. But they could, if one of these was a 6, it's just possible that they could go in that position, for example. If that was, imagine that was green. We know green is a big digit, it's a 6, 7, 8 or 9. Well, it could, on a 3-cell sum adding to a single digit total, it could be 6. 6 plus 1 plus 2 is 9. It's the only way it could be. It's the only way either of these could actually go on the quality street wrapper, is if they're in those or one of those two positions, because we know that we can't have 2 9s in yellow and orange because they're different from one another. Oh dear, am I now going to get stuck? That's distressing. Purple is slightly restricted in box 8. Because again, it can't go on its own region sum line, and we know it's different from orange, so purple is in one of these 2 cells. That's a desperate purple pencil mark at the top of column 6. It's the same. Is it just the same everywhere, is it? So purple again, in this box, it's got to be in one of these 2 cells. So it's got to be in one of these 3 cells. Green can't go on its own region sum line, so green goes into those, so green goes into these. It's a bit different actually in box 2, isn't it? The lines. Okay. Oh yeah, look, the quality street wrapper isn't totally symmetrical. That's only a 2-cell stub, whereas this has got 3-cell stubs on either end. So if this one had turned upwards to there, I could have pencil marked green in here into this domino, but I can't because green can go in all 3 of those positions. Oh dear. Oh, bobbins, I don't know what to do then. So what do we do next? We've got to somehow propagate the shading, I think. Can't immediately see how to do it, if I'm honest. Yeah, okay, I've got one thing. The positive diagonal needs to have orange and yellow on it, and it looks to me like they're both in those 2 cells. So I don't know what the order is, but we can see, if we just do, let's go through yellow. I mean, yellow and orange are symmetrical. i.e. if we rotate the grid around 180 degrees, we just end up with yellow on top of orange, wouldn't we? So let's just do yellow. Where is yellow on the positive diagonal? It can't be there or there. Can't be in the middle because of the negative diagonal. It's already appeared there. And it can't be in those cells. So the only options for yellow are those 2. But exactly the same logic applies for orange. So these digits are high. Now, so that means on the positive diagonal, I should say, we now have a 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, should I do that? I don't know if I should. It might be necessary, and we might have to track the low digits. I'm not sure. Maybe I might just note that the middle digit. Oh, I see. Is that sensible? Actually, all 3 of those are low. Yeah, okay, I'm going to have to do it, I think, because I'm just noticing something new. If we look at box 5, look at the 3 cells on the negative diagonal in box 5. They see green, they see purple, they see yellow, and they see orange. So these digits are low digits, definitely. Oh, okay, so maybe it's where does yellow go, or orange in this box. Orange is in one of 2 cells, so presumably yellow is these 2. I will just check that. Yeah, yellow is in one of those 2. So that again is quite right. In fact, that is it. That is, I mean, that's just Jay. That is beautiful. Let me just see if I can do it the other way round. Oh, hang on, I shouldn't be able to. Oh, this is sick. Right, I now understand why there's an asymmetry in the quality street. I understand why it's not the same shape both ways round. Yeah, let's do yellow first. Okay, I don't know which of these cells is yellow, but I know one of them is. But the symmetry is such that let's imagine this one is yellow. Let me try and this one. Let's imagine that one is the real yellow in the puzzle. Where does yellow then go in row 6 if this is yellow? It's going to go on this region sum line, isn't it? So that's going to force this digit to be a 9. Because once yellow is on a 3-cell region sum line, the only way, given yellow is a high digit, the only way that can work is if the yellow is 6 and there's a 1-2 pair on the region sum line. Now, what happens on the other hand if this one is yellow? Yellow's only got 2 possibilities, but that's going to put yellow on this region sum line. Where again, now purple, or pinkle if you prefer, would have to be the 9, and this would have to be 6, 1, 2. So either way, yellow is always 6. One of these is a 6 now, so there is no 6 in either of those cells. But well, and one of green or purple has to be 9 now, because either that is 612 or that is 612, depending on which way round this goes. But here's the kicker. Let's look at orange on the other hand, and imagine that this blue, if this blue line had done that, then we would have had symmetry on the quality street wrapper, but that would have forced orange either onto this one or this one. And that would have meant that the other of green and purple, the one that didn't have yellow on its region sum line, would also have been 9. So this is why this is asymmetrical. And what it also means is that this can't be orange. Because if this is orange, orange is on this region sum, which is going to make... Oh, hang on. Yeah, that can't work. It can't work. I was just thinking, no, but it can't. It can't have 6 on it. So given orange can't be 6, the maths won't work. We're going to have 7 plus 1 plus 2 on there, and that won't be, that will not work. So this can't be orange. Orange is here. It's going into the... So orange is 7, 8, 9. It's not 9 because we know either green or purple is 9. So let's do some correcting of our pencil markage. So now, yeah, these can't be 9. And orange is in one of those 2 cells. Now, can that be orange? See, this is a shorter line, so maybe it can be. Okay. Not sure is the answer. Possibly. Okay. Now, right, so now, because orange is here, I might have to have a colour for low digits. Should I do that, do you think? Is that the point here? Because I'm noticing these digits now see all the high digits. They see yellow, purple, green and orange. So those digits are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And maybe that's what I'm meant to do. Sort of have a low colour. Oh, I could use my new grey. I changed my palette to get rid of the black. I just couldn't see the blue numbers on the black background. So last night I fiddled with my colouring, and I've got a slightly grey colour. It's a bit dull, but yeah, some of you are saying, well, it's just like you. It suits your personality, Simon. Yes, thank you. Oh, well, if this is, hang on, if that's 6, that line is 1, 2, 3. That's a very obvious point, so I can grey those. Wow, that was nearly useful. It doesn't seem to actually do anything, though. No, I see something, though. Let's look at this line, which is a 7 or an 8 line. Now, a 7 line would make these 1, 2, 4. An 8 line would have optionality. It would either be 1, 2, 5 or 1, 3, 4. Let me just check that this is recording. It is, isn't it? Yes, that's good. I'm using this new software. I'm using OBS to record now, and I keep worrying that I've not pressed the right buttons. But anyway, so these have to be from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now let's look at the negative diagonal. I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuple. So I know that the corner digits are green and purple. And that's apparently not helpful. Oh dear. Oh dear, okay. Right, hang on, because we know... I know one of these is 1, 2, 6. That's the bus I used to get home from Beckenham Junction as a schoolboy. It was never there on time. Now, 1, 2, 6. So, I don't really see how we're going to do that. Is that somehow obvious? I don't know. If... I really don't know, actually. Sorry if you can... Or... Oh, no. What's going on? What's going on? If... There's loads of possibilities that you can almost... Like, if that was purple, then that's purple. One of these would be purple. That would be green, though, then, wouldn't it? Oh, so one of those is purple. Because if that's purple, then that's purple. And if that's purple, then that's purple. So what that means is that in box 7, the purples are in that congregation of digits by Sudoku. Because if this is purple, that's purple, and the purple's in those two. But if this is purple, then that's purple, and then the purple's in those two. So the purple is never in those two cells, which is, I mean, it's just a weird thing. And that's going to, I said, oh, does that work the other way around with green? I think it does, look. If green is here, well, no, let's do it with the corners. If that's green, green is in one of those, it's in one of these. If that's green, green is there, and it's in one of those. So again, green can't go into these two cells. Oh dear, sorry about this if you've... Right, that digit must be grey. Because this line can't have a 6 on it. So I'm not saying this isn't 9. It could be 2, 3, 4 or 1, 3, 5. But I am saying it doesn't have 6. So look at this. This is almost getting fascinating. I'm still not sure though whether this is about... Whether it's about chasing the low digits around, or it's about chasing the... Can that really be orange? This would be a very small digit. And if that's orange... I don't know. I'm sorry. Is this obvious? Ah. Well, that's nearly a good thought. It doesn't quite work. Bother. Right. I can see that one isn't purple. That's a really pretty reason, because if it's purple, then I have to put purple there on its own region sum line, and that would imply this cell was a 0, so that's not right. So we can get rid of purple. So if that's purple, and then we'd know we were in this world, wouldn't we? But oh, nearly. Yeah, there's nearly that. Actually, it's to do with exactly that point. Oh, come on. I might be able to force this out. Well, let me just mull this over for a sec. I'm wondering about that digit, just to be clear. I'm wondering about this digit and where it goes in this box. Now, it's not 6 by Sudoku. So, it can't be on its own region sum line. That's also true. So either it is exactly there, or it's really tiny, but it's the sum of tiny digits as well. So this would have to be 3, 4, or 5. But then, is that going to work with... there's something wrong here, isn't there? There's something wrong, I feel, in my bones with this. Well, certainly this can't be a 3 or a 4, because this would get too big. Because if we hypothecate, if this is 3, this would be a 1-2 pair, and then this would be a 3-4-5 triple adding to 12. That's not going to work. If this is 4, this is a 1-3 pair. This would be a minimum of 2-4-5 adding to 11. Now, if this was 5, it still doesn't work, does it? No, it doesn't work, because these digits would sum to 15. That's the way to think about it. That's completely obvious, and that's actually lovely. This is a sickly beautiful point, and I've been thick about it, and that's annoyed me. But who was it on the birthday list who likes shouting at me occasionally? I think I've been shouted at there. Lauren and Ross. I didn't. Yeah, I'm sorry. And Jim has definitely defeated me with that thought. But this is the key point. This digit here, let's say it was as low as a 5. Is that ever possible? No, it's not. No, it's not. Because what we're saying then is that the sum of these digits would be 15 in the box, because these digits would have to be lower than 5. So those 5 digits would sum to 15, because they would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuple. But this digit has a maximum value of 5. So these 3 digits are definitely adding up to at least 10. And that cannot be a 10. So the maths doesn't work. So what this is telling us is that this digit here is not a low digit. It is a high digit. And it's not a 6. So it's at least a 7, 8 or 9. So it's one of the other colours. And we know it's not purple, actually, because I got rid of purple on the basis it would have broken the world. So this digit is either orange or green, I think. I would really like to know which one of those it is, but it's orange or green. One of those two. And whatever it is, because it can't repeat on its line. Oh, so that does it. Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, because whatever it is, it can't go on its own region sum line. It can't go in its own column. So it does go there where it sees orange, so it has to be green. So this is green. This is just, it's beautiful, beautiful setting, isn't it? It's beautiful magic. Okay. So what does that mean? So, right, so now orange in this box. Maybe this has been true for a while, actually. Orange is in one of those cells. So this is an orange-green pair, and these two cells are both grey. And they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, therefore. So this digit, the orange is not orange, and these two are from 7, 8, 9. So that's got to be a 7 or an 8. That's got to be an 8 or a 9 now, and this digit is tiny. It can't be more than 2, or the maths of this little line won't work. Right, so green, wherever we see green now, it's at least an 8. Sorry, I got called away. And what was I doing? I was looking at green, apparently. Oh goodness, that's been a longer break than I like. I can never resurrect the logic. Why did I think? Okay, why am I messing about with green? Okay. So okay. So somehow I worked out this digit was a high digit. This is either a purple digit or a green digit. So that's low. So this is very high, and it's that one. Right, okay. So green, looks like I've pencil marked green everywhere, doesn't it? And this digit, well, that's either orange or purple, so that's got to be 7, 8 or 9, I think. And I don't know where that is in. Well, there's one more high digit in column 2, which is either, well, it's either purple or orange. It couldn't, if it was orange, it couldn't be there. So if that's purple, orange would be play. It doesn't do anything. Sorry, I was wondering if I could spot something. But if that's, well, that is quite interesting. I mean, it's a bit weird. I think that digit's always orange or purple. Oh, yeah, in fact, that is the point, isn't it? If you just look at column 2, this cell, for some reason, well, for the reason it's got orange there and purple. Oh, I've remembered. I can't remember how I did it, but I proved that purple wasn't. Maybe it was purple and green in these two. In those cells, maybe it was green, but these couldn't be purple. Now, why was that? That was because. Is it because one of these is purple? Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Because one of the corners is purple, one of those two is purple, which means you can't put purple in those cells. That's okay, all right, but this is good. Well, I don't know if it's good, but it's going to do something in column 2. Because now this digit is definitely not purple, and it's definitely apparently not orange, but I've got to put purple and orange in this box, or in the column. So that is purple or orange. So it is 7, 8, 9, and in this column, that one is grey. Now, what does that do? And the answer might be diddly squat. No. Oh dear. Okay. Yellow has to be down there. Yellow has to be down there somewhere. Oh, no, that doesn't do it either, does it? Orange is either here or here. That also seems to be a truth. So if that was yellow, that would be orange. Here's an easier point. Here's something much easier. That digit is a 1 or a 2. So this line can't add up to 7 anymore. Sorry, that's totally obvious. I mean, I got called away. I'm sorry. That is very easy. This can't be 1, 2, 4, because that would break this cell. So that can't be 7s. So this is an 8, 9, 8. Orange is 7. Orange is 7. Let's put 7 in. Oh. Okay, I think that must have just been a misprint, because I've put these in grey, which was meant to be my low colour, but clearly those 3 are now 1, 2, 4 triple. I mean, I've not done anything with grey apart from maybe with that grey, so I think I probably just missed out the 4 whenever I originally pencil marked that. So now on the negative diagonal, I should say, I've got 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 4 into the sort of these edgy digits. So 5 in the middle box is definitely on the negative diagonal. I'll tell you something else as well. This line, not only can it not be 1, 2, 4 anymore, but it must have the other 2 low digits. So this is a low digit, a 1 or a 2. So the other 2 of 1, 2 and 3 that are not this digit must be on here. And the way to understand that is to imagine that they weren't. Imagine there was only 1 low digit in these 3 cells. If there's only 1 low digit, then they have to be, the minimum they could be would be 1 plus 4 plus 5, and that adds up to 10, which is too much. So there's definitely a 3 on here, for certain, and there's the other of 1 and 2 that this isn't. So this digit is not 1, 2, or 3. That's 4 or 5. And I've got an 8, 9. Hang on. I've got an 8, 9 pair on the positive diagonal now. So those 2 digits are not 8 anymore. So, whoopsie. What I wanted to do. So this is a 6, 7 pair. We're not going there with the 6, 7 nonsenses. Okay, and that doesn't actually do it, does it? Well, if it does it, I don't see why it does it. Did people say this is a 1-star puzzle? It's not a 1-star puzzle. That's just not true. Oh, although it's very possible I'm missing a bit of Sudoku here, and I will blame the interruption. Orange has to be up here. It's similar logic to the logic we were looking at before. That corner digit is not 7. So that corner digit is not 7. So if this was orange, we would know it was 7. And then we would know, oh, I see, then I'd know that was 7. But if... that's right. Okay, I've got something much better, actually, but that's weird. That is weird. Hang on, I just want to think about this for a moment, because there must be a way of seeing this that is... That's just bizarre. Okay, there's something going on with purple digits in the grid that is very weird. It's really strange. I don't understand it. Okay, I'll show you what I've noticed, and we can try and work out why it's the case together. This digit can't be purple, because if this digit was purple, you couldn't put purple on the negative diagonal, because if this was purple, obviously purple then can't go here. But where's purple going in this box? And the answer seems to be in these 2 cells. And I've got purple labelled in box 8 in one of those 2 cells. So they are the 2 purples. I mean, row 8 and row 9 are going to have 1 purple each. So I can't make this purple. That would be a 3rd purple in 2 rows. If there's definitely a purple in there, and there's definitely a purple in there, there cannot also be a purple in there. To put it a different way, if there's definitely a purple in there and there's definitely a purple in there, where's purple in row 7? It would have to be here. And then you couldn't put a purple on the negative diagonal. So it's something to do with how to think about the negative diagonal and where the purple is. So let's do that. That's going to fix it. So if this is purple, it's very clear that this is purple. And if this is purple, yeah, okay, maybe that is how to do it. It's slightly weird, but if this is purple, it seems this is purple, and then that's purple, and then that's purple. So this is always purple. And this, therefore, is not purple. That's 7. That is now orange. And this is purple. So this is not orange. And that's good. That's a good thing. That places well, no, I was going to say it places orange in this row by Sudoku, and that gives us a 6 on the other diagonal. So hopefully this will do something. So the 6 is our yellow digit. Yeah, I've seen something that does. This is a brilliant puzzle. Jay, where have you been? This is the sort of thing. It's incredible. Right, that's a 7 now. So this is not, this is good. That's got to be a pure old orange digit. So that's just a 7. We can write it in, which means this apparently is an orange digit. So that's a 7. That's on a funny little line. Look, that one. So that is a very low digit. In fact, that's quite interesting for a different reason. I've got some other logic I want to show you, but that digit plus 7 is equal to green, and this digit plus 7 is equal to green. So those two digits are the same, and therefore that digit is that digit because it's a 1 or a 2. So it must be in this little congregation. So there's definitely a 3 in this domino. There's definitely a 3 in this domino. And that puts... No, oh, I thought it might put 3 in the corner. Well, it gets rid of 3 from these cells. Because again, there's a 3 in there. There's a 3 in there. That's the 2 3s, isn't it, for these 2 columns. So we can't have more 3s down here. Right, now there was a point. I had a point and I wanted to make it and I'd seen it. Where is my point? Where is the thing I'd spotted that I really, really wanted to tell you about? I know what it was. It was to do with the 6. Yeah, this is really nice. Okay, this 6 here is stopping these two being a 6. So, if this was a 6, this line here now has 6 in that position, but this is a 1-2 pair. Because if it's not a 1-2 pair, this is bigger than 9. So this has to be a 1-2 pair. This is a 1-2-4 triple, so those 4 cells are only selected from 3 different digits. That cannot be true. So the 6 in the middle box, we now know where it goes. It goes there. So this is not 6, which probably means, yeah, so these two are now grey. And they are low, but not 5, because we'd already put 5 on this diagonal. So now 6 is down here, but we've got to be a bit careful, don't we? We mustn't fall into the same trap. If this was 6, this is a 1-2 pair, and again, we've got those 4 digits selected from just 3 different numbers. So the 6 must be there. That's not actually... well, might do something. So those are both grey. And I've got a 1-2-4 triple here, so... that's terrible, terrible unwinding of pencil marking. So that digit must be here. Now I've got a 1-2 pair here. So this is a 4-5 pair in column 2, which means that's a 1 or a 2. Oh, I see, that's the red digit. Look, I can just plot that one. One of these is red. One of those is red. Oh, look, that's red. So that's red. So this is not red. So the red is in one of these two. The red is in one of those two. I mean, I am aware it has to appear on the negative diagonal. I don't know if... I'm not sure we can do it, though. That was almost very exciting. Where is red? Red's in one of those cells in box 3, look. And that means red in column 9 is in one of these 2 cells. Right, okay, but that means this digit and this digit have to find a home in box 7. So they are in the corner. So that, oh, it's not a 3 in the corner then. So we should probably give the other of 1 and 2 its own little colour as well. Now, I'm running out of colours a bit. Maybe blue? Can I see that? I just about can. Oh, okay, that hasn't actually done it, has it? Wow. So... Oh no, come on, Simon. Oh, I know what. Okay, this being 6 makes purple 9. There we go. There's a deduction. 8, 8, 8. That will be important, surely. Right, so red has become 1 now to make the maths of this work. And we've got 1s plotted all over the place. So blue has quickly become 2. So, right, so no 1s in these cells now. And okay, this triple adds up to 9. Oh, I don't know. It could be 2, 3, 4 or 1, 3, 5. Ah, no, it can't have 1 on it now because this is 1. Ah, that's a relief. Right, so that's 2, 3, 4. It's the only way of making these 3 digits add up to 9 if you can't use 1 on them. So this is now 5. That's a 4. We've now got 2 and 4 on the positive diagonal, so let's tidy that up. That digit's... Right, I've now got a 3, 5 pair. I've got a 1 in the corner. Oh, that's wrong, though. That must be wrong because I pencil marked 1 in here. Why did I think 1 wasn't in the corner? Red wasn't in the corner here. Was that just a nonsense? I'm tempted to say it was a nonsense. Let me just scoot back if you don't mind. Sorry, I just want to check that. Oh yeah, it's just a total nonsense. Look, I've ignored the fact I've treated grey in my mind as like a big digit or something, and I said, oh well, red because it's not grey must be in this domino. It's a total rubbish. So the consequence of that was I put a red in one of these, also total rubbish, but luckily I didn't use it for anything. So we can scoot forward, put the 1 in the corner, get rid of that nonsense red pencil mark here, make this red, and hopefully we'll be able to... Oh, well, I tell you, an 8 arrow, and I mean, think of this as an arrow, it's 3 digits that add up to 8, so there must be a 1 on them, and I can put it in. It's got to go there. So this is now a 1 by our friendly neighbourhood Sudoku. This is now a 1. This is a 4. I've got a very, very overly colourful grid, and I still somehow... Oh, hang on. What's going on up here? I've got a 2, 3 pair. I've got a 2, 3, 4 triple, so I need 5, 6. So that digit is 5 or 9. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know then. Wow. I was thinking I must know the ordering of the 8, 9 on the negative diagonal, but I don't think I do. What's green? Green is 8. So that... okay, I've never looked at this line. This can't be green, because that would be 15. And then these two would have to add up to 15 without using 6 or 7. You can't do it, because a 15 domino is either going to be a 6, 9 pair or a 7, 8 pair. So I don't have to put green, or I can't put green indeed in there. So green is going in these two, and that's going to do some work, because green is in these two. So where is green in column 7? It's got to be exactly there, which makes this not green in the corner, which makes that green in the corner. That's green in the corner. That's green in the spotlight, losing its religion. It deserves a song. Right, this is now an 8. So that's a 9. That's an 8. Oh, didn't figure this one out. That's definitely not purple. One of these is a green 8. Apparently, I don't know which one. That's a 9, though. Oh, that does it. That 9 is placed here. That immediately just places the 8 straight away, look. And that means this isn't 8. So I've got 8 there, so this is 8. Let's try and tidy it. Keep my colours on track as we go through. And I need 3, 4, 5 into box 8. Apparently I don't know the order of those. And but this is now a 9, and that is purple. So these don't include purple, but they do include a 6. I just don't know which one is a 6. And that 9, 9 makes this a 9, which means that's definitely not a 9. So let's purplify this one. 9. Oh, where's 9 in box 3? This is a brilliant puzzle. It is certainly not trivial. Now that, have I done all? Oh, I might. Hang on. I've also just put a 9 onto this funny little line here, which is probably important. I've got all the 9s. Oh, look, I can get all the 8s as well, just if I keep going with my Sudoku. And I've got... Oh, I must know what this is. Yeah, these are 2 digits that add up to 7 in order to get to 8. They don't include 5. So they can't be 2, 5. They must be 3, 4. And I know the order. So that's 4. That's 3. This digit now is a 2. Oh. So that seems to be... If this is right... Why? Oh, because 5 was on the diagonal. That's why. Okay, that's fine. So this is 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 3, that's 2. And hopefully that's now 3 on the positive diagonal. I've done both diagonals, so I've got no more excuses there. These digits are 2, 5, 6. So that's a 6. So that's a 6. So that's a 6. These are 3 and 5. Apparently I don't quite know. What about that digit? No. Where's 3 in column 1? There. So that's going to tidy up some of this. 3. I've got a 3, 4 pair in this column, which makes this a 2. I need 3, 4, 5 into these cells here. I feel like I should be able... Oh, it's going to be this line, isn't it? Okay. So this is... Yeah, this has got to be a 3. Because that makes this portion of the line add up to 12. And how would I make this add up to more than 12? This digit here cannot be 6, 7, 8, 9. So the biggest it can be is 5. So it's got to be a 5, 3 pair, 3, 4 pair, 4, 3 pair. That's lovely. That does the 5, it does the 4 and the 2 and the 5. And hopefully, if we haven't made a ricket... Oh, I finally got it done. That was... Wow, that was a very, very beautiful puzzle. Let's make all of those blue. Now, ones, wherever you may be. Oh, I haven't done that digit. That's a 5. Okay. Did 5s ever have a colour? I think 5s were sort of part of the grey coterie, weren't they? 6s were all meant to be yellow, so that we could do those. 3s, 4s definitely shouldn't have their special red flash. So the 1s, I don't know if it'll let me... Will it let me double click the 1s? Yes, it will. Okay, so I can get rid of a grey on them and make them all red. And in theory, we should just be left with 5s, 4s and 3s to colour in grey. And let's make sure that they look... And that ought to be the solution to the puzzle. That is a brilliant puzzle. That was fantastic. I mean, Jay, we've missed you. Absolutely amazing puzzle. A quality street rapper for the ages. Definitely didn't roll over and let me at least tickle its tummy. I was interrupted, but I'm not sure that was terribly... I mean, when I came back, I didn't come up with anything clever for quite a while, so I don't think that really held me up. No, but there was that weird thing about whichever one of those was a particular colour, that colour always ended up there. That was very crucial. Yeah, and it's just sensational. It's a sensational puzzle. Let me know in the comments how you got on with it. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And if you did find that a 1-star puzzle, can you explain what I missed? And well, yeah, we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.